friends, I want to talk today about the life cycle of a flower. Did you know that flowers have a life cycle? Well, they do. I have a pretend flower to show you here. And just like a real flower, this one has a stem. A real flower would also have leaves. The flower needs the leaves because the leaves make food for the flower. But also like a real flower, this one has flower petals and it has a seed pod in the middle. The center of the flower, that's where all the little seeds are. And I'd like to talk to you about the life cycle of the flower with this poster here. So I have a title, Life Cycle of a Flower, F for flower. And we're going to start our life cycle with number one here, the seeds. So you need seeds for a flower to grow. And you might plant the seeds yourself. Some people like to plant flower seeds, or sometimes the flower seeds will plant themselves, which is really amazing. They'll fall out of the flower and onto the ground and they get planted themselves. But you need to start with some seeds in the soil. And after a little while of being in the soil, the seed will sprout roots and it will start to grow a bit of a stem. And then after a while longer, that stem will grow taller and there will be leaves growing on the stem. And then finally, after that stem has grown tall and the plant has lots of leaves, a flower will grow up on the top of that stem. And in the center of that flower, that's where the new seeds are, in the seed pod. So here, this flower, you're seeing that it's starting to die because flowers don't live forever. After a while, that flower will start to die and the wind will blow and those little seeds will actually fall to the ground. And some of them will get planted and the cycle starts again. The roots will grow, and then the stem and leaves, and then a flower will grow on top, and inside the center of that flower, that's where the seeds are. And when the flower dies and droops and the wind blows, those seeds fall into the ground and the new seeds are planted. The cycle starts again. Isn't that neat? I am going to try to draw my own life cycle of a flower. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, so I'm going to start with a flower. So I'm going to do the center of the flower and some flower petals. And of course, there's so many different kinds of flowers, but a lot of flowers will have a center with the seeds in the center and the petals, right? And the flower has a stem and some leaves. And there we go, the roots underground. So there's my flower. Okay, and I'm going to imagine that that flower is starting to die and those little seeds that are in the center, they're going to fall out. So here are some of my seeds and they're going to fall down into the ground. So here's my ground and that seed has fallen underground and look what's happening. It's starting to grow some roots under the ground. And then after the roots, a stem will start to grow. Right? So here we go, there's my ground again. The roots underground, the stem is growing higher, and we're starting to get some leaves growing on there. And then after a while, that's when the flower will grow on top, right? So let me put an arrow here. So we had the whole grown-up flower, the seeds fell out and got planted down into the ground. And a stem grew, and then the leaves grew, and then finally a flower grew up on top with little seeds inside that then fell to the ground again. And the life cycle started again. That is the life cycle of a flower, and I have a job for you to do. I would like you to do a couple of things. I'd like you to have a close-up look at some flowers, if you can find some, and see if you can find the little seeds inside. Your other job is to draw the life cycle of a flower. Okay, have fun.